Why is the syllable division important? If you're a normal reader, you don't need a syllable division. It's irrelevant. But just imagine, if you can, how it feels if you're a struggling reader and you're faced with a long squiggle, a sequence of these weird squiggles. You look at this thing and you haven't a clue where to even begin. You look at this thing, you panic, you throw the book at the teacher, you haven't a clue where to even begin. But if we can give them a very simple approach, a word attack skill, so that when they see a word, they think, all right, there's a bit there, maybe a bit there as well. Then they can get down to this process of decoding. Whether you've used toe by toe or not, I dare say you look at these pages of nonsense and maybe you're not even sure that you can read these words yourself correctly. Right, never mind judge whether your student has read them correctly or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the syllable division. Okay, so the first thing that we do is we check that your student can recognize a vowel, that they know what a vowel looks like. So all they have to do is to say yes if it's a vowel, no if it's not. So no, 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 yes, no, yes, and so on. Dead easy. Even severely dyslexic children seldom have a problem with that, but we have to be sure. And then the first step is, the basic syllable division is that the student starts at the left-hand side of the word, and when they come to the first vowel, they jump over the next letter and they draw a line. You don't need to use this fancy word consonant. You just say vowel, letter, line. And that's all they have to do. Except if it's followed by the same consonant twice, a repeated consonant. 2 P's, 2 T's and so on. In such a case, you draw the line after the second consonant. So you can see here how it works. No yes consonant line, no yes twin line, vowel consonant line, vowel consonant line, vowel consonant line, and so on. Fight against the tendency to recognize real words or bits of real words amongst all this nonsense. This is pure nonsense. And also, never draw a line that would leave a single letter hanging in space at the end. So where does the first line go, please, in number 1? After the F, and then after the second D, then after the N, after the R, after the second T, after the M, the N, the second T. The important vowel sounds are the short vowel sounds. Use the short vowel sound unless there's a reason for the long sound. So number 1 says, off, ad, in, sa, it, im, an, ket, Well done. Now, ch, th, ch, and k, or as Ruth Miskin would say, sh, ch, k. These make single discrete sounds. We cannot split them up, can we? Because it's a single sound. So we have to draw the line after the H, or in this case, after the K, the kicking K. Okay, so where's the first vowel? O. So where do you draw the line? After the K. Well done. And the next one, after the second L. The same rules apply from 1 and 2. After the N, the H, the twin, the H, the N, the H. Okay, so number 3, everybody read it to me, please. What does it say? Ish, an, dak, en, thrad, oop or yoop. It doesn't matter whether you say oop or yoop, but it has to be the long vowel sound, oo or u, right? Ish, an, dak, en, thrad, oop. And number 4, everybody, what does it say? Op, ak, off, ul, cham, pen, din. Well done. Yeah, what does that say, please? ch. Good. And this one? Good. So again, these are single sounds, aren't they? You cannot break up these sounds, so we have to draw the line after the H in both cases. So you see here, vowel, consonant, line, vowel, ch, line, vowel, sh, line, and so on. Okay, the first line goes where? After the K, and then after the R, then after the H, after the H again, after the double D, after the R, after the T. What does it say, number 5, everybody? Of, id, et. I put it there to trap you. And some of you fell into the trap and you said 1. Now, why did you say 1? Because you recognize the real word. So that's why I say fight against a tendency to recognize words or bits of words. This is pure nonsense. So we just apply the decoding skill, own. Och, etch, of, id, et, own. Number 6, everybody, what does it say? Ich, ash, o, f, m, af, odd, in. Brilliant. Okay, now, the posh term for these things is vowel digraphs. So we've got 2 vowels work together to make a single vowel sound. We take the long sound of the first, O, ignore the second. Long sound of the first, ignore the second. Long sound of the first, ignore the second. In primary schools we say, when 2 vowels go walking, you don't say it in Derby? When 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. No? Well, it's a good way to get the point across, but of course it doesn't always work. So I'm not sure it's a good idea, really. But anyway, the important thing is it's a single vowel sound, isn't it? O-A-E. It's a long sound, but it's a single vowel. It's not O-A, it's just O. So from our perspective, now, drawing these lines, that's just a vowel, and a vowel. So the same rules apply from 1 to 6, and you can see here. Here's your first vowel, vowel, consonant, line. Vowel, sh, line, vowel, consonant, line, and so on. And number 7, where does the first line go? After the M, and then after the S. Now, some of you are drawing it after the T. Don't worry, be happy. It doesn't matter, but it should go after the S because that's an initial blend. But in practice, when my students make that slight mistake, I just ignore it. It's really not worth worrying about because T-mestosh or T-mestosh sound the same anyway. So don't worry about it. But after the M, after the S, after the sh, then after the P, after the N, the double D. Everybody, number 7, what does it say? Teen, S, tosh, ap, ein, did, Well done. And the last one, everybody? Hoog, teen, ale, sir, van, ipe. Ipe, the E at the end, right? Ipe. Good. So back to page 155, everyone. Okay, now, first column. What does it say, please, everybody? Mape at oi. Mape at oi. Next one down says bait ish. Next one, raid pate. Next one, ein peck Next one, pain a tog. Next one, en sake rip. And finally, aid ap ot. Well done. Notice it is not necessary to say mape at oi. Yeah, we're not testing for fluency. All we're testing is that your student knows where the lines go and the sound that each bit makes. So mape at oi is fine. That's what we're looking for. Prame in itch, paid in and so on.